I'm Angie Fenton with the Voice-Tribune, and this is Deep Dish with Mayor Jerry Abramson, otherwise known as Mayor for Life.
Mayor for about 6 or 7 more days.
A few more days. And what we've done is have asked people on Facebook if they were sitting in my spot, what they would want to ask Mayor Abramson. So I'll start with this one. What changes are you, or improvements, are you most proud of?
You know, I think most people will focus in terms of legacy on things like the airport expansion and the jobs that were created, the waterfront, taking it back from piles of sand and junk and making it so beautiful, the baseball park, the city of parks, the bikeways. I think people normally want to touch and feel and use that brick and mortar and say that's what the mayor did. Personally, I think what I take most pride in is that in 1985 when I ran for mayor, this community definitely saw the glass half empty. It was a community that simply didn't think it could compete with any other community. It was a community that was down on itself. It was actually a very dirty community. Trash, litter, things of that nature, which is why I started Operation Brightside. And now, as I leave, I think there, even with the recession, I think there's an energy of we can compete with anybody. I think there's a half glass full, maybe 3/4 full in terms of the way people think about their hometown. And I'm most proud about that because you can't accomplish anything without a commitment and a belief that if we all pull together in the same direction, we can be successful. And we had enough of those wins over the last 2 decades to give people a feeling that Louisville's really in the world.
Will we still see you participating in the mayor's hometown bike hiking?
I'll always be at the hike and bike. You know, I'll always, always. I certainly hope so. I enjoy bicycling. And the same thing with the hike that we do in October if the new mayor continues it out at the Jefferson Forest. That's a gem that people in this community have simply overlooked. And that's why I started the hike out there in October when the leaves are changing. It's so beautiful. And invariably, when we'll get 800 to 1,200 people out there on a given Saturday morning, you'll find half of them have never been to the Jefferson Forest. And the Jefferson Forest is the largest municipally owned forest in America. And the hiking paths and the horseback riding paths, the fishing area, and the nature area, it's a real asset that many folks in our hometown don't take advantage of. But more of them are as a result of the exposure that we've been able to give them as a result of coming out, offering them a long sleeve T-shirt for the hike, and it's been successful. So yeah, I plan to continue to participate.
I think I thought
it's my hometown.
It is your hometown, and it remains your hometown.
You betcha. I'm living right here.
What about any improvements or changes that you'd like to see that didn't necessarily take place, but you're hoping to see with this new administration?
Well, I hoped we would have been further along with Museum Plaza. I'm hopeful that will go forward. I'm hopeful that we've done 27 miles of the 100-mile loop around the city, the Louisville Loop. We'll bring another 18 miles on with the Floyd's Fork development. And so we're moving toward 50 miles. We've still got another 50 to do. I hope that ends up being brought to fruition. I look forward to a destination park in Southwest Louisville. Riverview Park at the end of Greenwood Avenue is just a magnificent area with an incredible view of the river and the hills, the knobs of Indiana. We have already spent about $3.5 to $4 million with a new boat dock, a new play equipment for children, new spray park. But there's a $30 million game plan, that master plan for that area, and I'm hopeful. I asked the Waterfront Development Corporation, since we're almost through with downtown, once the Big 4 bridge is done, to take that on as a part of their responsibility. And I'm hopeful that that will get done over the next several years. It's going to take a lot of help from the state, because you can't find that kind of money at the city any longer. But hopefully I'll be able to help at the state and get that done too.
Now you're going to teach, and you're going to be teaching most likely primarily college-age students. How social networking savvy are you?
Well, my students are going to be sophomores, okay. And I'm learning. I have a 19-year-old, and I'm learning about all of the social interconnectivity, I guess, and look forward to using a lot of the new technology in my classes.
Do you Facebook?
I don't as of right now, other than there is a formal Facebook for the mayor of Louisville, and so I am on that. and have been able to interact with folks. But I don't have one for myself, but hopefully shortly, after I leave and have a little more time, I'll develop that.
We can all friend him then.
There you go.
When you and your family are out and about, what are some of your favorite, in particular the Louisville original hotspots?
Well, we live in Crescent Hill, and so we love Porcini's. We very much enjoy Michael's place, the Irish Rover. We enjoy going up to Equus. We enjoy Cervici. We enjoy Baxter Station. We enjoy Metro Cafe and Avalon. And then, Saffron downtown. It's just really a special place for us. And we've enjoyed that a great deal. And all the O'Shea places are just fun to go to. Not just the ones on Frankfurt Avenue or on Shelbyville Road or on Bardstown Road, but the one downtown too.
I love this one. What is the possibility of you becoming the president of the University of Louisville in future years? Because it seems to me you would be the perfect person, says Lulu.
Well, it's certainly it's something I've never thought about, and so I don't have any. There's no game plan or any strategy. We have an outstanding president. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with Dr. Ramsey, and hope, if I'm fortunate enough to get elected lieutenant governor, that I have the opportunity to work with him for many years to come.
What advice would you give for someone interested in going into public service?
I speak at several universities around the country to young students who are in the public administration schools. And I was up at IU just recently at the School of Public Administration and Environmental Affairs talking to young people. When a lot of people think of public service, they think of elected office. But the reality is, although I'm the mayor, there's 6,000 other people that work with me. And if you are a public finance person, if you are an engineer, an architect, or so many of the other skill sets that create a positive government experience for the citizens we represent, there are real opportunities for young people to get involved. And so that's what I always try to do. Try to remind folks, if you want to run for public office, that's great. Go out and get involved in a campaign. Walk door to door. See how it's organized. Understand how the media versus the polling versus coffees in people's living room play out. And so once that campaign's over, you can make a decision as to whether that's your cup of tea. On the other hand, the days of picking a precinct captain to be works director or budget director or personnel director, those days are over. You need skilled, educated, professional people to run the departments because they're very complicated. We're talking about $800 million business. We're talking about 6,500 employees. And so it takes really bright people, professional people. So when it comes down for HR, we did a search and we found a fellow who was leaving one of the banks because the bank had been bought by another bank, and he had been HR for all of those bank branches. So that's who kept us out of trouble for 8 years in the HR field. So it's those kinds of things that there are a lot of professional opportunities available for young people if they're interested.